Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily, Thursday Thoughts. It's Des here with the live question and answers. Really looking forward to getting stuck in today. As ever, got some questions to go at, the throwback questions, and then leave one with you. Really pleased to get the feedback I have. It's been a great week on DOdaily, to be honest. Really sort of feel like I've had a good one. And as ever, before I get stuck in, I always like to say how I'm feeling absolutely tip-top at the minute. Looking forward to that big occasion at Wembley on Sunday. I've been talking about that all week. As much as I say I don't like to talk about football, it's really crept its way in. Biggest occasion in terms of my first love, football. Of course, I've got into other things recently, but the biggest occasion for 30 years. What's really helped me is all the activity I've been doing. I've now actually been out for a run 4 times in the last 5 days, which is really pleasing. No side effects. Motivation's building really high at the moment. As I speak, I've just jumped out the shower, just got another 5k in, so really pleased with that. Part of the coaching session I do here in Nottingham through DOdaily, where we look at targets and goals and use it as a bit of a running boot camp. Of course, this version is all about just passing on useful information, trying to sort of be honest, relatable, realistic about how I'm feeling. And this week's definitely been a case of that. Like I say, some of the discussions I've had have related in particular well, and I've had some really nice feedback, and that always matters. You know, it's really important for me to get that. I really sort of enjoy receiving that. I'm not going to lie to you. It'd be easy to say it doesn't really matter. It definitely does. It gives me a confidence boost. In the past, it was a case of negative comments and people making snide remarks would often get to me, but now it's the good stuff that I let get to me, and that can only be a good thing, can't it? So my confidence is building in that sense, and I feel really sort of really like kind of feel like the penny's dropping a little bit with it. I've always complained about not being able to get across the message the way I think it, but it's almost like it's starting to come together. So if you have enjoyed it, or you will enjoy it, please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Please give it a thumbs up now. You know, like this episode. That's always important to get this moving around YouTube and get people seeing it. Really sort of looking forward to that. Amongst all the sort of enjoyment from the running and the buzz that's given me, lots happening. Of course, the weekend, you know, but lots happening today. Starting a brand new quiz after this. I'm hosting one in the local pub, and again, it's getting out of my comfort zone. It's talking publicly, which I don't always do. Of course, I do it through this, and people might think that that's a real sort of that takes a lot of confidence. It's not necessarily the case. So again, I'm just looking to go that one step further and just try and improve myself in that sense. Hopefully it will sort of help with this as well and help me feel a bit better what I'm doing here. So feeling good, you know, and that's a great place to be on a Thursday, isn't it? As I start winding down to the weekend and looking forward to everything ahead. I always like to get to this point and start to process everything, see how it's gone and see how it's going. And it's been a good one. You know, there was that little hiccup on Tuesday. Check out that episode. The stress of getting tickets for Wembley, but I come through that, and I think I come through it with some positivity. So really sort of really glad to be in a good place and to be thinking forward again. Without sort of going on too much about all that, if you want to get involved, please do drop a comment. I love to sort of respond as much as I can. It's absolutely brilliant when you do, and of course it creates some really nice conversation. The True Reds already dropping in there. You're looking forward to the massive game on Sunday, Des. We'll come back to that. I'm sure we're going to discuss that this evening. But before that, last week's throwback, do you find yourself more motivated in good weather or more tempted to relax and enjoy it? Do you know, I've always said I've been a bit of a winter runner. I like getting out in the cold and wet, you know, and not too cold, but when it's wet, I love to get out. But my motivation's really built up with this sort of the pickup in the weather. So I thought it'd be great to sort of throw this question back out there and see what people think. It's something I've done probably in the last couple of years, you know, ask it periodically to see what people are saying. Of course, I love to encourage running and everything for well-being. For me, I've been saying for weeks now, when my running sort of clicks, with all the good spirit, all the good feeling, everything that's happening with me and Kay and the wedding and plans and the marathon to look forward to and the football being so good, when I could top it off with running and those endorphins and mix that with the excitement, it's just going to be like a drug, and it's fantastic to sort of work from. So this is why I kind of thought it'd be useful. I will always encourage it, any type of activity, whether it is running or not. Kay says, I really enjoy the long, steady runs in the summer where there's no pressure on speeding. You can just enjoy the outdoors. Again, it's just great to be out, isn't it? And be able to look at things and take your time. Sometimes when it is cold and wet, you tend to get a bit of a move on and get sped up and get it done. Simon, I love to soak up the sun. I like to get activities done early in the day. Again, I think I do, although I don't feel like I'm much of a morning runner. I struggle a bit for motivation. I struggle with sleep, as I always talk about on here. But again, it's great. It's great knowing it's done. I do like it done early, but it doesn't always get done early. Jenny says, I really enjoy having the longer daylight hours during the summer. I sometimes find myself going out twice a day. Well, that's great as well, isn't it? I tend to mix mine up. Sometimes I'm in the morning, sometimes I'm at night. I've just said there, I'd rather do it early and have it out of the way. But if you're going out twice, you can almost break up your runs. It's good right in the middle of summer as well, because if you want to do long runs, it can be hard, as you get towards midday or you're finishing sort of work and it's still really warm. So you can go out early and later when it's cool. So that's absolutely fantastic. A couple of responses there, and I know just by being around runners, there's people who enjoy different situations, different weathers, different sort of times a day, and that's all that was for. That's all the throwback questions ever about. It's not for wrong answers. There is no wrong answers to it. It's just trying to get a feel for what people are up to and what they're doing. And again, whilst I'm on top of my running and enjoying this pickup in weather as well, it's put me in a good mood. There's lots of things that have coincided. It's almost been the perfect storm. I've mentioned it already: the wedding, the marathon training, the pickup in the running, the pickup in the weather. Forest getting to Wembley, what's not to love about life right now? So thanks for the feedback there. I really appreciate that. What we'll do is crack straight into the questions, and of course, it was always going to be the case, wasn't it? There was that comment there from the True Red. You're looking forward to Sunday in the massive game, and then question one was always going to be about football, was it? What are your plans for Sunday? How will you make the most of the day, Steve? Well, of course, I'm going to Wembley to watch Forest. The first time in 30 years. Really sort of relived it today. Put a picture of, not the last time I went, but just before the last time I went to Wembley, 31 years ago. I actually went 30 years ago as well, when Forest used to get there all the time. Put that on and kind of took myself for a trip down memory lane. So reminiscing about that, remembering why I'm a Forest fan and how I enjoy it. But I've seen lots of people trying to make so many plans around the day. We're going to this pub, we're doing that, we're going there, we need to do this. And the reality is I'm kind of like remembering when I've done things in the past, like go to big events or big concerts. The day always flies by so quickly, whilst of course I enjoy it and make the most of it. They always say time flies when you're having fun. I'm just going to go there and really, really soak it all up. Spend a lot of time on Wembley Way, get into the stadium early, enjoy the atmosphere. Hopefully they win, enjoy the celebrations. We shouldn't have too much of a rush on to get trains, whilst it always is a bit stressful getting out afterwards. I just want to sort of take it all in, not run around at 100 miles an hour, trying to get in this pub, trying to meet this person, trying to do this, trying to do that. Of course, I do a little bit of work around football matches now, interviewing and creating some content for a football website. So sort of take my time doing that, but also enjoy the time with friends and family. And like I say, just sort of mill around, so to speak, get a few drinks if it's possible, if it's easy. But I don't want to create a real structure and then start stressing about it on the day. That's not what it's about. It's about going and enjoying it. We're getting an early train purposely just to take it easy, get there in our own time. And then, of course, you've got all that sort of effort on the way back anyway, so there's no point adding to that. So that's the way I'm going to approach it. Really looking forward to just taking a day off from everything and just really focusing on this. I say a day off from everything. I've still got those little bits to do and send that content over, but that's something that I really enjoy as well, and it only adds to my football experience these days. So really looking forward to that. Thanks for the question, Steve, and the True Red for sort of popping that in. Of course, today was always going to be about football, wasn't it? I was talking to Kay about it, and she asked this question, so I said to her, just drop it in. Why not theme the Thursday thoughts this week around the Wembley trip? So what's the best football match you've ever seen? Well, I said for a long time, Forest got to this playoff final by playing Sheffield United, who over 2 legs, who have a bit of a local rival. And the last time we played them in a playoff semi-final, they beat us. And I've always said in the second leg in 2003, probably why it was so special as well, beating them this time for us older fans, or not quite older, but older than the younger ones. It was quite special to actually sort of right that wrong. Whilst I realised that the modern generation don't really think about that, and the players won't really care about it either. For me, being at Sheffield United in 2003 and Forest was on the verge of it and they threw it away. They nearly threw it away this time, but they didn't. There was so many similarities. So that game in 2003 was just kind of it, in terms of all the emotions and experience. And the things I talk about now make me think that even more so than then, because when I was back then, I was in my early 20s. I didn't sort of do things like DOdaily and try and sort of reach out to my emotions and my thoughts, But then I'd never experienced a roller coaster of emotions like it. And as a football fan, we live for that thrill. It might sound a bit silly, but that's what we do. We live off the excitement, the enjoyment, the euphoria, and also the bad times. And we've had plenty of those. So in that game, there was absolutely everything. We were on the verge of getting to the final then and getting back to the Premier League after just 5 years. It's actually been 23 years now. So, this could be it. So for me, the best and worst game I ever went to, Kay, was that Sheffield United semi-final. Incidentally, Kay actually went to that game, and that was a long time before we met, because we wouldn't have known each other then. But she will know exactly what I meant there, and perhaps not in the same way, but she went to that game as well. So yeah, that's my answer to that one. And then Jenny's sort of back in. To a non-football fan, how would you describe the excitement of Sunday? Great question, that, isn't it? I don't know, because I spend a lot of time with football fans. Not really. I've tried to use it as an example this week on DOdaily. And like I said, do check out some of those episodes. Whilst I've spoken about my Wembley experience to date, this week, the build-up, the things that have got me excited, the things that got me sort of nervous and the anxiety going, it's just all those things I've just said. You never feel anything anywhere that's got such a broad range of emotions attached to it. And I mentioned that picture I looked at earlier back from 1990, and I was thinking about my uncle who took me to the match, and it sparked off a lot of memories of going to football with him. He's no longer with us, and my auntie, both of them are no longer with us, and that's something that I'm grateful to them for as well, for giving me this. I actually put in this social media post, what else would I have done? If I weren't a football fan, life would have been boring. And I know lots of non-football fans will go, oh, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it all boils down to that sort of that feeling thing of being all over the place sometimes. People take drugs for that kind of feeling. I've never had to do that. I've never had to take a drug, because football is it gives me that broad range of emotions, and when it's good, it's really good. And what I've done as I've grown older is I've learned to really, really enjoy the good times. Been plenty of those this season. Sort of got a new group of people to go with, and lots of people who I enjoy the match and enjoy the content creating I do and all those kind of things. And it's just fantastic, and it's just really built up when I was young, I used to let the lows get to me a bit too much and sulk and be mardy about it. But now I don't really get like that. When we lose, it's just a game, isn't it? But it's never really just a game. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I would explain it to a non-football fan. So thanks for that question. I really sort of appreciate that as well. You know, how do you see it? If you've got any comments about the best game you've ever been to, please drop them down below. And of course, what are your plans for Sunday? Drop them in. You might just inspire me. That's what I'm always looking to do on a Thursday, just be inspired by different things. Try and inspire you guys into thinking how it's going and what you might do. Any sort of feedback to this, please drop it in the comments. I'd love to sort of hear about it. Mr. Dawes commented there, look, hit the like, people. He'll particularly appreciate this one. This is a football-related one. I always refuse to get too involved in it on my own channel. Do a lot on his channel. Do check out Door on Tour. And if you want to know what it's like to be a football fan, particularly in relation to that third question, go check out Door on Tour. I'll put a card on it up here. Up here. I'll put a card on it. So if you're watching this episode after, please watch his video he's made. It's absolutely spine-tingling. I was a big part of it. All the emotions. It shows how far Forest have come from being rubbish at the start of the season to absolutely fantastic at the end. And definitely recommend that. He's had 16,000 views on it. It's that good, you know. And it just, for somebody who's definitely a non-related football fan, will just see the journey we've made together. You know, the enjoyment of being around people who are like-minded. I always talk about the importance of that. So please do check that out and check out what Door's doing. I'll be with him on Sunday, and we'll be supporting each other in our various content projects. So really looking forward to spending time with him too. And of course, if you've got any comments or any more feedback, any questions for next week, please email des@dorunning.org.uk. It'll be absolutely fantastic. This is how I'll make it work. I'd love you to get involved, you know, just like some guys have today. And the throwback question, get answering this straight away. Drop it in. You've got to do this before Sunday. Everybody who watches it, I want a score prediction from you. I'm going to lay it out there now. Don't often do score predictions. Don't often talk too much about football, as I've said many times. I'm going 3-1 Forest. Someone is just telling me it's going to be 3-1 to Forest. We're going to get promoted. It's going to end all that next week. If you think I've been positive so far, next week I'm going to be absolutely flying. You know, I'm going to be running everywhere, drinking everywhere, doing whatever I can to celebrate and really sort of enjoy it. So get your score predictions in. I'd love to sort of hear what they are. You know. So I'm just reading some of the comments there. The True Reds back, been supporting Forest since Stuart Pearce came back as manager. This season's been a fairy tale. From the bottom of the league under Chris Hughton, now to the playoffs under Cooper. And that's exactly right, isn't it? That's why we're all so excited. So any football fans or anybody who wants to comment on the score, please let me know, even if you think Forest are going to get beat. But I'm sure none of you do, if you know what you're talking about. But regardless, you know, let me know what you think about the score. And I'd love to know what you're thinking and know what other people are thinking. Like I said, please like and subscribe to the channel. That'd be absolutely amazing. You know, I've cracked on today, you know, with that football stuff. Again, I try not to dwell on it too much. But the next session is Wake Up to Walk, Friday, tomorrow, you know, after what I've got to do next. Really, really looking forward to that. The next leg of the Notts Clock Walk. Check out the previous episodes of that. See why I'm up and about. See if my enthusiasm's still as much as it is now. Absolutely buzzing. You know, I'm sure it's only going to be even more so. Kind of signing off for the week on Do Daily and some of the other things I've got to do before that big day. Really, really looking forward to that, guys. Have a fantastic evening. You know, catch me tomorrow. Please like, subscribe, share, do whatever you need to do. Come on, you Reds. Just doing it.